In this video, let us try to understand how to find the trigonometric value of a function at pi minus x. We will understand why sine of pi minus x is sin x, cos of pi minus x is minus cos x, and tan of pi minus x is minus tan x. So let's get started. Let us consider the unit circle with center at O. Let P be a point which creates an angle of x, and Q be a point on the circle which creates an angle of pi minus x. Now what we can do is, let's extend P to the x-axis and mark this as M, and let's extend Q to the x-axis and mark this as N. Now the functions of trigonometry which are sine, cos, tan, we have to find it at pi minus x. Now let's try to do that. We know that the x coordinate is cosx and y coordinate is sin x. So if we find the coordinates of q, then we would easily find what the values of trigonometric functions would be at pi minus x. Now we have two triangles here which are ONQ and OMP, and because we extended PM and QN, they are perpendicular to the x-axis. These two are right angled triangles. Now let's try to find all the angles in triangle ONQ. So what are the angles that are available? One is QON. So this is one of the angles we have to find. This is already 90 degrees and this is the third angle. So let's start with the angle formed at O. So if we find the length of the arc QC, that itself is the angle formed at the center, because this is a unit circle, and by the formula S is equal to r theta, when r is equal to 1 unit, so the length of the arc and the angle subtended are equal. So what we can do is, let's see what the value of QC would be. So arc QC is equal to, if we consider A to C to be one arc, A to C, this entire thing which is pi, and then subtract, so let me use a different color here. So if I use A to C, which is this entire portion, as pi, because it is 180 degrees, and if I subtract A to Q, this part from it, then we'll get the length of QC. So what is AQ now? AQ is pi minus x. That's the angle formed by arc AQ. So this would be arc QC is also equal to x, which is also equal to the angle QOC. So this is also x. Now if you notice, there are two angles which is 90 degrees, and there is x formed here as well. There are two angles equal, then the hypotenuse is also equal, which is 1 unit. So this meets the criteria of, I'm sorry about that, just a second. So this meets the criteria of triangle congruency, which is RHS. So please refer to the video number 2, where you will understand what are the 4 rules when the two triangles can be considered as congruent. So in this scenario, triangle QNO or ONQ and OMP are congruent, correct? Now when they are congruent, we have OM is equal to ON, correct? And PM is equal to Qn. Now what is PM? PM is nothing but the height or the y coordinate, which is b. So that is equal to Qn. Now what is OM? OM is nothing but the x coordinate, but because it is in the first quadrant, it is positive. But ON would be minus the negative values of x because it is in the second quadrant. Correct? So this will be negative value now, which is minus a. So now we know the coordinates of q. So q is nothing but minus a comma b. So basically the cosine value would be negative and sine value would be positive. So cos of pi minus x, I'm sorry about that, is equal to minus cos x, because the x coordinate changed from a to minus a, and sine value is sine of pi minus x is sin x, because the y coordinate remained the same from p and q. So now we know why cos of pi minus x is minus cos x and sine of pi minus x is sin x. So using this information, we can find tan of pi minus x, which is sine of pi minus x divided by cos of pi minus x, which is minus tan x, because there is one negative, which is minus cos x. So this is how we can find out trigonometric functions at angle pi minus x. Please add this to your tables, which we can use it in solving other problems. Please like the video. If you like this channel, please share it with your friends so that trigonometry becomes easier to them also. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video.